Yeah, for those of you giving fake name unto the great one, the time is come for you to realize no more time for no fake name. And the true name is Yahweh. Is His only name. Yahweh. That's His real name.
Yes, welcome ladies and gentlemen. Call up your children and call up your friends and let them know the program is on. I speak about herbs, but before I go any further, I would like to say thanks unto the viewing audience for writing me and also email me. Thank you, and keep on watching the program. What I'm saying to my black people of the Western world, the time is come for the black men of the Western world to wake up and realize that the black man is dying of starvation. And no one is helping the black man from starvation. Black man is not helping himself. So how are we going to get rid of starvation? We have to have a plan and a ways how to get our brothers and sisters out of starvation. As I travel the entire world, I see the black man is going unconcerned, not thinking how to get rid of poverty and get themselves out of starvation. They figure everything is okay and everything is going to be all right. I am here to tell the black men of the Western world that it's not going to be all right unless we have food. Regardless what you say, nothing is going to be all right until we have food for our people. That is the time that we will overcome all starvation. Regardless what you say about the book you call the Bible, it will not get you out of starvation. Regardless what you say about this Jesus, he will not get you out of starvation. Why? Because there is no one born by the name of Jesus. So therefore, he can't get you out of starvation. Why do I say that? Because the people that is alive in dispensation of time, you have proof, not no believe, but proof that the man you call the Jesus is not getting anyone out of starvation. Why? Because people are dying in Africa every day for hunger. And it's not one man, two men, three men, four ladies. Thousands and thousands and thousands have been dying. Not yesterday or today. Years and years black men have been dying in Africa for starvation. And since the Jesus that the black men believe into have been born, live and die, as they're saying, does not take care of any black man. I know what you're saying. He's not interested in taking care of the black man's flesh, but he's interested in taking care of the black man's soul and his spirit. I'm telling black people, without food, the spirit cannot be strong, and without food, the soul cannot be strong. Or if you want to call it body, in the Hebrew language, it's another word, flesh or whatever. I don't want to get into that. But what I'm saying to my black people, we must have food. And we cannot sit back unconcerned and waiting for the white man to take care of our problem. We've been having problem for over 500 years, and that there is no black leader rise up to see if they can solve the problem of the black people. But in the meantime, they are teaching the black people about a white Jesus. So we are going further and further down into the pit. And there is no one rising up to take us out of the pit. Because what they are doing is locking the children's mind into this Jesus. All the children that is going to be born, their mind is going to be locked into this Jesus. So they're not going to learn how to think and how to plant grains for their children. Also, they're not going to have anything to tell their children. They are not going to know about any medical herbs whatsoever. What they're good for and how they can use them. They are not going to know how to plant any grains and when to harvest the grains. Because there is no fathers around to teach the children that. Also, the ministers are not teaching the children that. Also, the teachers are not teaching the children in schools. They don't teach the children in school how to plant grains. And they don't teach them in school how to use medical herbs. So when they get sick, they must go to the doctors. And 3/4 of the doctors, they are the enemies of the black people. So you will be still running back to the enemies. They are not teaching them to stay away from the enemies. All they are doing is teaching them about the enemy's family. Because this man, that icon that I have here, is the son of the God. So the father have to be white. Because all these theologians said the God is a man. So if he is a man and he have a son and that's his son, therefore he got to be white. And the enemies of the black men are the same people. Now, is it real or is fairy tale? That's what I'm asking my black people. Is it real or is it just fairy tales? In Paul's time, the men of Africa was witty and they have spiritual knowledge. They could make these little dolls come alive. They would make them from wood or clay, and they could let them walk and talk, as you call them, puppets. They also do with animals. They made birds and they made animals. And they put life into these animals. They saw that it was wrong to do that. We still follow the tradition of them same people by giving our children these little toys. But the men of today cannot blow bread into these little dolls, so the children are not afraid of these dolls today. As we would have a lot of problems. And that's why many books said you should not bow down to any image or worship any image. They did not explain into this Bible why you should not worship any image or make image. Because these things can come alive. As I'm saying to you, black men, in Paul's time they did. And men was using puppets, and these puppet comes alive and do bad unto the living. So they abolished that laws of making puppets. You have men that do different type of magic. they will take stick and they will make it becomes alive animals. Like Moses, as you're calling him, he take the serpent and he take the rod and made a serpent. Now, this book that I have here, it speaks of the holy men in Paul's time, how that they did magic. But it haven't give you any way how they do the magic. It only say these men did magic. The Pharaohs, the Moses, the Aaron, the David, the Goliath, the Herod, and they all did magic. Now, that was their ways and their lifestyle. But you see what we're doing today in dispensation of time, we continue to follow the old men tradition, which their books speak of sacrifice, and we are still doing the same thing. They speak of building altar, and we are doing the same thing. They speak of burning wax, and we are burning candles. They speak of wife swapping, and we also doing the same thing. So therefore, that's why the black man gets so tangled up, because he's repeating what these men that died and gone many years ago did. He's doing the same thing. So in the meantime, the black man is dying for hunger. Have no time to teach his children how to use herbs, and have no time to store the land so he can plant grains so he can have food. When you comes up with an idea, they get upset because they think you're trying to make money for yourself. As I said in past program, if you have food abundantly, you do not need money. Why would you need money? See this money that I have here? This is not for the black man. This is not for black people. It's have a white icon. Believe it or not. I am not here for you to believe anything whatsoever. All I'm trying to tell my black people, we need to take the land and plant grains and forget about this white Jesus and forget about the book you call the Bible. Because we are not going to be benefit. We are not going to benefit from it because it have not been written by no black man whatsoever. The first writing have been written by black men, but it have been translated. They translate it. So the story have been tampered with. So the black men don't need to read it. It have been tampered with. They have names like Peter, James, John, Paul, and all those stuff. Those are English names. African doesn't have those names. And if the book, all the words of the book should be from the land of Africa, that's English names. If you notice the English, the African language, they have names like Muhammad, Pharaoh, Elias, Elijah, Emmanuel. Those are African names, regardless which part of Africa. The men that came from Africa is the men that have wool upon his head. No other men come from Africa. No other woman came from Africa beside the woman with locks upon his head. And that is the identity of a black man. Or if you want to call him Negro, it's the identity of a black man. If you want to call him nigger, that's the identity of a black man. On the identity of a white man, flesh color, blue eyes, straight nostril, and hair on his head. He doesn't have wool. No white men have wool. The only man that have wool on his head is a black man. So therefore, let me see if you can understand what I'm saying. Something have to be special with the man that have wool upon his head. There is something special about him. And every other man is jealous of that specialty. The Chinese doesn't have wool on his head. The Indian also does not have wool on his head. The white man also does not have wool. The only man have wool is the black man. So that should tell you something. That the black man have to be special. Why he is special? Because he is the first man that came out of the earth, just like the rest of beasts. He have not been made. He came out of the earth. That's why he have wool. The other men that have been made, they got what on their head? Not wool. They got hair. Chinese got hair, the Indian got hair, and the white men got hair. Black men have wool. So listen to me, black men. This is the identity. If you're Muslim, this is the identity. If you're Jehovah's Witness, this is the identity. If you are a Catholic as a black man, this is the identity. If you are a Jew, this is the identity as a black man. As I said, Jew, the word J was not, the letter J was not found into the African language. So I made a mistake when I said Jews. What I'm saying to my black people, we need to rise up and stop wasting time on this Jesus. Because we are not going to get out of starvation by believing into the Jesus. Let me see if you can get this and understand what I'm saying. For 500 years, can you count? 500 years, black men have been taken out of his land and brought to the Western world. And he have not been saved by the Jesus as yet. He have no food by the Jesus. He have been brutalized by the family of the Jesus. He have been persecuted by the hands of the Jesus. That's his family, the white man family. Let me see if my black people can get it and understand that the white man will not save you. He cannot. It is impossible. They are going to save their people. I guarantee you that. So what we need to do is start do the same thing like what they are doing. Save our people from starvation. Save our people from the rain, from the storm. Just like the white men. They are not stupid. They are not any blue-eyed devil. They are clever people that take care of their people. Don't matter where their people are, they are going to take care of their people. If there were people dying in Europe at this moment, it would be filled with food from the United States. People are dying in Africa and they send food when they want to. That should tell you something. It's filled with the head virus and people are dying and there is no medicine. That should tell you something, that they are going to sit back and let the black men fade away. And they're going to fade away by the hands of the enemy. They are not going to fade away because of some creator of the universe. They are going to fade away by the hands of the enemies. That's what I'm talking about. For those of you that continue to believe into the Jesus, keep on believing. What I'm saying to you, black men and black women, you need proof and not believe. Belief does not give you nothing. Belief doesn't let the grain grow. You have to plant them for them to grow. So therefore, if you continue to believe, we're going to fade away. In the meantime, the white man is planting grains. They're cutting down the forest and planting grains. In the meantime, the black man is sitting back and waiting for a Jesus. And the Jesus is the oppressor family. Let me see how small black people, one of the black men is using their brains to a great extent. We are sitting back and the white man is planting grains. Do you think a time will come when the white man said, we don't have any food for these niggas, so let them die so we can bury them? Because I'm saying to black people, if you don't have enough food, surely you're going to die. There's no doubt about it. If you don't eat for 5 days, 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, 40 days, 50 days, 60 days, you're going to die in the 70 days for starvation. If you don't have any clothes, you're not going to die. If you don't have a house, you're not going to die. If you don't have a car to drive, you're not going to die. If you don't work, you're not going to die. But if you don't have food, you must die. And that is not no belief. That is for real. And that's why black men is dying in Africa at this moment. Because black men sitting back unconcerned and not thinking how to plant grains. They are not thinking how to use all these herbal plants that I have. I've been taught by my grandfather how to use these herbal plants because he could not write books at that time. They didn't write books in those days, so they keep everything into the brains. I'm this third generation. I wrote a book on all these herbs, how to use them, what they're good for. Some that can get rid of demons, some that can kill the parasite of the internal organs and the external organ. Some can calm the mind, soothe the mind, pleasant the mind. These are things that have been taught by grandfathers. Now, there is no grandfathers in the home to teach the children anything. So what do you think is going to happen when we all fade away? Men and women that is 60, 70 years at dispensation of time, they only have the least 30 years to live. They're going to fade away. You, age of 50 and 60 and 70, you're going to fade away and your children going to grow up. And you will not see this Jesus. I guarantee that. Why I guarantee that? Because there is no one born by the name Jesus. And that's why I guarantee that all the people that live in dispensation of time, they're going to die and don't see the Jesus. And if you plant grains to have food, you could live a little bit longer. Straight up. So if the preachers don't want to wake up and teach the people, I am going to continue. And I'm going to press forward that they start teach the black people about planting grains and use medical herbs. and stop believing to some white Jesus. That's the family of the enemy. They know that, so you know that, so why are you playing games? Why are we playing games? We're building more churches when we could be building factories. We could be building schools and teach our children the original language of our great-grandfathers. Teach them magic, science, if you want to call it that. Teach them how to plant grains. You are speaking about a white man every time you go to those big buildings. And people are going there sick, can hardly walk. Good morning, Mr. Brown. How are you feeling today, sir? Okay. No, it doesn't work like that. It cannot work like that. They go up there and they scream and get into some state of strange mind and let you believe they are dealing with spirit. They are not dealing with any spirit. They're not dealing with any hurt-bound spirit, no element spirit, no cherubim or seraphim. They are not dealing with spirit. They are fooling the mind of the people. What I'm saying to my black people, we need to wake up. Because we have been fooled for too long. And if you don't wake up, we're going to fade away. Marcus Garvey said that already. And when Marcus Garvey said that, the black people didn't believe what he was saying. He went to the Queen guest chambers to get repatriation money, and they refused to give him money. Also the American government. They call him troublemaker. Because when you rise up and tell black people the truth, they don't believe. They say, ooh, he's speaking bad. You know why? Because before the child born, in the womb of the woman, they're hearing the word Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. So as it born the first day and cry, ah, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. So he go to school, Jesus. He leaves school, Jesus. He start to work, Jesus. So when he die and gone, his same children is using the word. So for 500 years, black men have been heard in the word Jesus in the Western world. So it's hard to tell them there's nobody named Jesus. They laugh at you because they can't believe. Now I try to prove it to them. There is no J into any of the English language in past time. The modern English came in the 15th century. There was no J. And the whole English there was no J. And the Hebrew language there was no J into the alphabet. But listen, what I'm saying, keep on watching this program and everything is going to be all right. You're going to learn how to plant grains and you will understand. Sooner or later you will understand. So be good and tell your friends to watch the program. Stop wasting time with your brothers and sisters. We don't have no more time to waste. So we need to plant grains.